You know, for the longest time, the idea of AI in the office felt like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? A distant promise of robots handling all our boring work. Well, that future isn't so distant anymore. In fact, it's already here. It's quietly becoming a part of our daily grind, and it's starting by tackling one of the biggest time sucks of any job, all that admin work. So let's take a look at how these new AI tools are basically becoming your newest, most efficient teammate.
So let me ask you a question. Do you ever get that feeling? You know, the one where you're just buried under a mountain of small, tedious, but absolutely essential tasks? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone.
I mean, this is the modern workday for so many of us, isn't it? It's those endless email chains that just refuse to die. It's the whole back and forth dance of what time works for you that can stretch on for days. And then there's the joy of manually typing up meeting notes or piecing together expense reports. This is the busy work that just chips away at our focus and eats up our most valuable time.
But what if you could just offload all that chaos? Well, that's exactly the promise of AI in this administrative space. And let's be clear, this isn't about replacing people. It's about bringing in a totally new kind of teammate, one that's specifically built to handle the grind so you don't have to.
All right, I want you to just look at this number, 2. Just the number 2. What do you think that could possibly represent in the context of your workday?
Well, that represents 2 hours. Yeah, you heard me right. According to the developers building some of these AI tools, that's how much time professionals can get back every single day just by automating administrative work, especially with email. That's 10 hours a week. Think about what you could do with that time.
So what are these things really? Well, at their core, AI administrative tools are just incredibly smart pieces of software. They are designed to automate all those routine office tasks we just talked about. They can look at your overflowing inbox, figure out what's actually important, summarize long email threads in a second, and even draft up replies for you. The whole point is to turn your inbox from a source of stress into a tool that actually works for you.
Okay, let's zero in on one of the biggest culprits of wasted time, the calendar. It's finally time to say goodbye to probably one of the most frustrating phrases in the modern workplace. This is where AI scheduling assistants are a complete game changer. It's so simple. You just tell the tool who needs to meet and for how long. The AI then goes and looks at everyone's calendars, finds the best possible time that works for everybody based on their preferences, and just sends out the invite. The endless email chain is just gone. That alone can save you hours every single week.
So, the meeting's booked. Fantastic. But now comes the next challenge, managing what happens in the meeting. We spend so much of our lives in meetings, and then almost as much time trying to remember and write down what on earth was actually decided.
Now, the way these AI assistants work is remarkably simple but incredibly powerful. The AI can just join your virtual meeting like another participant. It records and transcribes the entire conversation in real time. But here's the magic. Afterward, it doesn't just give you a huge wall of text. It gives you a searchable transcript, a neat summary of the key points, and, this is the best part, a clear, actionable list of who is supposed to do what. The impact of this is, well, it's huge. Some studies are showing that using AI for this stuff can cut the time spent on creating meeting minutes and notes by 80%. An 80% savings. That is a massive gain in efficiency. It lets your team focus on actually doing the things you decided on instead of just documenting them. Okay, so this brings up a really important question. If AI is handling the scheduling, the emails, the meeting notes, what does that mean for the humans who used to do all that? I'm talking about skilled professionals like executive assistants.
Well, what it means is a fundamental shift in the job itself. The role evolves. All those repetitive tasks, scheduling, transcription, expense reports, they get delegated to the AI. And this frees up professionals to focus on much higher value work. Things like strategic planning, managing complex projects, and handling critical communications. The job transforms from an assistant to a real strategic partner.
Now, this all sounds pretty fantastic, I know, but you might be thinking what I'm thinking. It's the big question we have to ask with any powerful new technology. Can you, actually trust it to get things right?
And that's a perfectly valid question. The answer is, you have to be smart about it, because there are some things you absolutely need to keep in mind. First, expect a learning curve. It's going to take time for you and the AI to get used to each other. And second, and this is the most important one, you always have to trust but verify. Check the AI's work. For anything really important, human oversight isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely essential.
And that really gets to the heart of this whole transformation. The goal of these tools isn't to make people obsolete, not at all. It's to absorb all the repetitive machine-like tasks, to free us up, to free our brains up for the work that truly requires a human touch. Things like creativity, critical thinking, strategy, and empathy.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. As AI gets better and better at automating all the busy work, we're going to have to totally redefine what it means to be productive. If your value is no longer measured by how many emails you can answer in an hour or how many meetings you can schedule, what is it measured by? That's the big question we all need to start thinking about.